gorillas from the jungle suited up.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. This is Joe Mixon, fourth in the NFL in rushing last season. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that, got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Here's a throw that's taken in out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
We got four. We got four.
Third down from the gun, Dalton. And Eifert has it. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Dalton to his big target, Eifert, for the Cincinnati first.
First down, Cincinnati.
And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the first.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season. What a
Mixon hit, and all the ball is out. But I think a Bengal player was able to get in there. He was. And they'll keep possession of the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The first carry here for Ty Montgomery. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. Well, the Bengals and Seahawks meeting here in Week 1, and this is a combination that we haven't seen that often on the turf. If you look back to when the franchises began facing each other all the way back in 1977. But since then, just 20 meetings between the two teams. And the Bengals have won 11 of them, including the last meeting back in October of 2015. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
So following the holding call, what can they do here on third and long? Dalton here from the gun. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's fourth down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 from back at their own 10-yard line. They run it with Carson. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
This is Carson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. Here's Wilson. Forced out to his left. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. The rushing numbers for Wilson may be down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
I got it. Watch that in. Watch that in. Deeper. Check.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a third and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's third and long here. Wilson after the play fake to Carson. And the pressure gets to him again. Ryan Kerrigan in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. On the return is Williams. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Bengals will take over here first and 10. Meanwhile, down in Glendale, it's the Lions that have grabbed the early lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. The Bengals drive about to get going. They were forced to punt on their initial drive of the new season. Now they're ready to go as they begin again with a first and 10. Now Joe Mixon. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Flushed out, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people would think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
So the sack, and now it's third and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Now Dalton, he's going to air it out deep for Green. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And fourth down now coming up.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Here's the second-year man from San Diego State, Rashad Penny. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. No score after 1 on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing is Wilson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards there, 1st down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Got it.
Well, throw on 1st down with Wilson. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That goes for a gain of 31.
Seahawks. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. To throw is Wilson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now Wilson. Now the 2 men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the 2nd quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Lady! 54! Watch the screen! Pass!
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Give credit to K.J. Wright. He was disrupting defensively.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. Jaron Reed picks up his second sack of the afternoon. Here's Drew Kaiser now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 34-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And Dixon over the middle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, there's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
93, 52, 93, 44.
All right, let's see what Dalton can do after the fumble recovery. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Here's Carson. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Alert 3, alert 3, alert 3.
Touch 50, touch 50.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. On 3rd down, Wilson. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
On third down, the defense decided to blitz. A very good job of recognizing it, stepping away from the pressure, and finding open space to scramble and pick up a first down.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. 10 more there and another first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because there should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now it's Wilson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Tyler Lockett, 45 yards. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead grows to 10-0. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And a first half that really has not been kind to them. A late opportunity here to maybe make some inroads on this deficit before half.
And this drive's going to go a long way towards telling us whether they actually have a chance to come all the way back in this game or not.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Passing, it's Dalton. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. They came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Throwing, Dalton. Finds his target, Montgomery. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Another chance for Dalton. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. He's going to rifle one deep left side, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. The Bengals on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. Operating from the gun, Dalton. He's going to air it out deep for Green. Green's open, and he's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A.J. Green, as the first half is winding down, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Point after, right down the middle, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
Here we go.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers or count.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Geno Atkins able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
On second down, it's Carson. And that is not going to get it done either. Once again, he's stopped behind the line by this Bengals D. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
I know he ain't got it. Hey, watch it, watch it. Shit. Switch.
They go play action now. Wilson trying to lay one up deep. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And some room to run now. And they will finally get him down as he's all the way to the 36-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down. First and 10 for Dalton. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Montgomery. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it second down. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Dalton with a give here to Nixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. We've seen this a few times in this game. That offensive line just, I don't know if you want to call it out-physicaled, out-toughed, whatever you want to use.
And what people do when that is happening, when they're getting dominated that way, they spread things out a little bit, make it more of a space game, and allow your skill position players to make a few.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A 15-yard touchdown grab, and the Bengals have taken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 14-10. Brown now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Watch the curl. 14, run it.
Now on 2nd and 16. Wilson. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. Then he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Jaron Reed able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Mixon with it. And he's going to push his way down to about the 12. An 8-yard gain, so that gets him halfway there. Now they're left with a 3rd and 8 more. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. From the gun, Dalton. Well, this is Montgomery with a grab over the middle. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Here's a run with Mixon. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments.
And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. They were able to stop him at the line on 1st down, but this time he punches his way through.
And sometimes just because you're stopped on the first run, it doesn't mean the play call was bad or incorrect. You might just need better execution and just a tad more determination. And they got it done on the 2nd try.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They'll look to make some inroads here, trailing 21-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Geno Atkins giving him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk 1st. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now it's Carson. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On 2nd and 11 now. Wilson. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. From midfield now, here's Wilson. And he finds Penny. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll try the left side. Carson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It was Jordan Evans making the play defensively.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Ryan Kerrigan picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Let's go double count right here. Double count. 50, Mike, 50.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Bengals will get the football back. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 49. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
It'll be Carson. They run for it. But he will not get in here. He's stopped up short of the goal line, and this will remain a 5-point game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So they've got to work on getting first downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going. And above all, ball security. Don't turn it over.
That's Jonah Williams, the 11th overall pick back in April. He was actually the first lineman taken. He's the guilty party. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. After the penalty, it's Mixon. And he'll be taken down at the 18. That's a gain of 6 on the first down run. A tight game like this, such a tough spot for the offense to be in. Even though they have the lead, Charles, back up so close to their goal line, they got to protect the football.
And that's when you have to take care of your team with play calling as well. Not a lot of misdirection, not a lot of counters, not a lot of plays where you have extra ball handling. Get it right to the hands of your running back, tell him to take care of the ball, and try and move forward.
No gain there, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Here's Dalton. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. With a sack, it's Ziggy Ansah.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
That's taken on the 25. A good return there, 17 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on the 4th.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. All right, now the Seahawks face a big 2-point conversion attempt. Here's Wilson to throw. And he's He's got it. So the two-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth quarter lead. And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty slick return there as he's up just shy of the 45-yard line.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
Well, some good games around the league here early in week one, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Dalton, pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Bobby Wagner, the former 2nd rounder out of Utah State, with a sack. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals.
X3, 218, jump. Nice.
Dalton here from the gun. And that will be incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
93, 52, 93, 44.
Bengals going for it. Here's Dalton. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And that is incomplete. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Well, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
They run again with Carson, and he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. And this defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Now a toss play. It's Carson. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. And this one is right down Broadway. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held him to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. To throw again, Dalton. Going deep for Eifert. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And able to find Green. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And still a little bit of time left, but the defense can't stop the clock, so 3 kneel downs should be enough to finish this one off. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And the tackle there will go to Ryan Anderson.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And just how they envision the start of the season, kneeling it down, defense can't stop the clock. This one's a winner.
You know what's really strange? I think a lot of people think that the kneel-down practice stuff really only happens like one time a week. The best teams I know, they practice it starting back in OTAs. They want them to visualize winning a game and how great that feels, and they got it done in this one.
Yep, a knee gets them to 1-0. So the victory here for Seattle. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the Seahawks, that'll be a happy locker room as they start this season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies